Hello, this is me, Josh Hunter. I'm here on the planet Earth. Uh, I've got a new jutsu for you. I this is anyway. This is kind of ins- I guess it would be inspired. It's recently, actually, literally like maybe 4 or 5 minutes ago, 6 minutes even. I was on my way to just go play some video games, and I saw this gentleman asking to. I didn't hear the whole conversation, so this is probably taken out of context. But I heard a gentleman ask these two people, if they were homeless or whatever, and I thought to myself, now look. First I got to say, like, I'm not like upset or anything. I'm not like, oh, things should be better. Okay, that's the difference between me and a lot of people is people are always like, oh, things should be better than what they are. And I try to live as if, why should things be any better than what they are? That's not necessarily in favor of progress, but to me that's closer to safety than other points of view in the long term. Anyway, I saw this gentleman, and he asked these two other fellows. He asked them if they were homeless, and I thought, you should be asking them if anyone does anyone care about them, because there's a difference between being homeless and having people care about you. To me, being at home is based on the feeling of safety. Um, how safe do you feel? How I mean, anyway, so this jutsu is inspired partially by that, and and partially by there's a film that came out in the early '90s called Angels in the Outfield with Christopher Lloyd, and it's called oh yeah. Anyway, so in the film, there's this kid, like, he wants to spend time with his father, and his he's not like a deadbeat dad, but, like, he rides a motorcycle, and and he's just, he's not there. And so anyway, the dad comes around one day, and he's like, and the kid asks, like, when are we going to be a family again? And the dad says, when the Angels win the pennant. And the kid had no concept of sarcasm. He didn't understand, like, his dad was being sarcastic, like because his dad was like, the Angels will never be. His dad was saying, oh, we'll never be a family again. We'll never fucking be a family again. And the kid was like, he didn't understand. He said, oh, he took it literally. He took it literally. He was like, oh, okay, we're gonna be a family when the Angels win the pennant. Okay, and then he just got to work. It's like, all right, I want if that's when we're gonna be a family, then that's when we'll be a family. And so anyway, and so the movie basically, like, he goes out and he literally, I guess, I don't know, this guy has some, like, serious chakra or something, because he's able to literally draw in angels, like literal flesh and blood angels, into that reality, and cause them to help the baseball team, the Angels. At that time, they were the At that time, they were the Anaheim Angels. Yeah, and he literally draws these angels into reality to help them win the pennant. And to this day, I still do not know what a pennant is. I know in baseball there's, like, the World Series, and if you win that, like, you're, like, top notch or something. But so um, I won't spoil the rest of the movie for you. But so this jutsu that I've come up with, I don't know if I've come up with it. Anyway, this jutsu is called When the Angels Win the Pennant no Jutsu. And it's when if you feel as though the family that you have is not good enough, that you deserve a better family, and that somehow you're missing something, um, this is the jutsu that you would use when you want to begin the process of building a better family. And it's called When the Angels Win the Pennant no Jutsu. So when you're ready to start building your better family, this is the jutsu that you use. So I wanted to home. Oh, where I wanted you. Okay, all right, sorry. I'm not sorry. I think, if I'm not mistaken, oh, you know what? Something very interesting. I don't know if I ever brought this up, but I was like kind of stuck on this bench. In yeah. Anyway, I was stuck on this bench. Like, was it 2015, and I lived on this bench for like 6 months, and one day, like I was sitting there, all right, so it was nighttime, and then the power went out. Like the power went out for like, I don't know how far it went, but it was like for like the first block, the second block, at least within that block, all the lights went out, and then it started raining, and I was like in a terrible mood, and then that was the first time like I tried to leave the bench. Stoop kid afraid to leave a stoop. And I tried to leave the I tried to leave the bench, and then I walked, and I kept on walking, and then it was raining, and then I was so tired I just fell asleep, and then it was like I tried to go north, and then I don't know, then I came back to the bench, and then that next day, like as I was sitting on the bench, because I was not in the best mood ever. But I was sitting on the bench, and the power went out, it rained, I was in a terrible mood, and then I couldn't leave, and then I came back to the bench the next day, and then I was sitting on that bench, and I don't know if this was actually him. It could have been like a look-alike or something, because my eyesight wasn't so great at that time, but I think it was Chris Martin from Coldplay. He came up to me, and he gave me a box of food and $10, and he said, I'm kind of paraphrasing, I don't know, because I need to, anyway, he was like, here you go, it's nutritious and delicious. And I'm like, is this for real? Like, because it looked like Chris Martin. Like he gave me the buttons. Like Chris Martin has these buttons or something that he wears. It says like, I don't know, something about love or something. And then he gave me some buttons, and then on the box it said Chris. And I was like, I mean, if if this is like a double, like this is like quite a bit of effort to try and convince me that this is not. I mean, this is Chris Martin or something. And I don't know. That was like my first time like ever thinking like, this is kind of like, why is it that people that I know on the street will fucking like turn away from me, and like, I guess because they know me, maybe that's why. Chris Martin doesn't know me, so he's just like, oh, homeless guy on the bench, like, here's some money, dude. Alright, so anyway, why did I bring that up? I'm sure it'll make sense later on. Anyway, so yeah, I think, so that was neat. I don't know, I just thought I'd like to, it's been a while since I do not like to mention when I've seen celebrities. I think it's a bit much, because I've spent a lot of time in Hollywood. I've seen people like who are obsessed, and who can't, like, I don't know, they can't distinguish. Fame is too important to them. It's too it's like these are people. Okay, these are people. They're not better than you and me, and we're not better than them. And it's like, I don't know. seems anyway. I just wanted because in I just wanted to home. Oh, sorry. Oh, that's why I brought it up. Okay, because I anyway. Actually, you know what? Okay, I need people to realize. That's right, because I want this YouTube channel to be an as accurate and practical a representation of my personality as possible. So I need to let you know. We have very. Oh shit. Oh well. Well, I tried to. I tried to. I tried to think. Do you think I'm like one of those guys who's like those movie, those movie quotes guys, like those guys you like? You think I'm like Bumblebee? Like all I can do is talk in quotes, and that I can't ever have like any type of original speech or something. Yeah, maybe I used to be like that. I don't know what I am like now. Yeah. All right, let's go. The Los Angeles Anaheim Angels. Oh, you want to know something that's also very interesting? I used to have this thing where I thought that if I continued to go east, that somehow that would be like safety. Like that would be like the thing that would somehow solve all of my problems. And sometimes I would just like go east as best as I could. And like one night I was actually here in Santa Monica, and I got upset, and then I said, okay, I guess I'm just gonna go as far east as I can possibly can. And I walked from Santa Monica to LAX, the airport, and then I walked to Anaheim. I walked all the way there. I just kept on walking. I was trying to go as east as possible, and then I was at this bench. I finally got. I don't know. I thought I was just gonna like hang out around like Disneyland or something. And then I was sitting on this bench, and this gal came up to me, and I guess she had just gotten out of jail, and and she bought me a Sprite, and we were like talking for a little bit, and then she was like, "Man, I am so glad I'm going home." And I'm like, I have never heard anyone so grateful in my entire life. Like she sounded so like she hadn't been in prison for it couldn't have been more than a month, and she was so glad to be going home. And like I was like, I can't believe someone is actually this fucking grateful. Like it's been a long time since I heard anyone sound grateful. I mean, even if she was, it was. And so I thought, you know what? I thought like maybe I'm being ungrateful for like what I have. Like maybe I'm being ungrateful for like like the treasure and beauty that is Los Angeles County. And so then I just said, all right, well I guess I'll head back. And I started, and I hopped on a bus, and I went back to I went back to, I guess I went to Hollywood. I mean, that was the closest thing at that time that I had as a representation of home. Since, like, when I'm at home, at that time, I would just watch, like, movies and television. So yeah. And that was, it was neat. Like, I don't know, I felt like that was the only time, it was one of the few times, if not the only time, where I felt like I'd actually been rescued. Most of the time I don't feel like I've been like saved. I don't feel like anyone like cared enough to like, draw me back. But there are these couple of times where I feel like, where I'm trying to leave the state of California, leave Los Angeles County, and like I get pulled back. And the other time this happened, I was actually here in once more I was here in Santa Monica, and somebody was like I was like, all right, well, I guess it's time for me to go to New York. And I was like, all right, I'm going to save up $1,000 or $10,000 or $5,000 or whatever, and try and go to New York, and I'll just be homeless in New York. Who cares about the weather? And then, every time I tried to go in that direction, like even not like physically moving my body, but just even my intent to go in that direction, I could literally feel something like tugging on my heart. Oh shit. Ooh. Sky looks very neat right now, like this line. Alright, anyway.
Same old shit.
Oh shit.